Hey Amanda, thanks for sending all these. I knew you'd have them on video, oddly enough. Some of my feedback on this is going to be for you and Shout personally. I don't have a whole lot to say about that because you're doing a really, really awesome job with her. I'm really, really impressed. You're obviously a great trainer. You know that already, hopefully. So some of my feedback is going to be as instructing for these style of exercises and just kind of what I've seen in the little amount of time I've been doing it as well. So love this. The following the handler here. Really, really great. The one step is super important for everyone else. People want to do more than that. The other thing that's super important on this exercise is watching the dog. It's really, really easy to watch the dog take the step and then look at the target. So really, really important to keep the handler's eyes on the dog. Really lovely on going around the side there as well. Some troubleshooting, and I apologize if you already know this. Like I said, I don't know what OMD has on their website for their stuff because it's just, there's so much on their website. If the handler needs to reward out of the hand halfway, you know, that's an option to do there. Or increase the value of the reward from the handler, decreasing the value that's in the target. Love that you just did when you're moving away. That's one of the things. So I'm going to pause the video for just a sec. Two of the things with the OMD exercises that will kind of increase the difficulty for handlers. Increasing handler distance from whatever it is that you're doing, so from the dog or from the object you're sending the dog to. And then the second thing that is always encouraged is adding opposing motion. The key to that is as soon as the dog is passing you, you're moving. If you're tending to move before that, bad things start happening. So it's as soon as the dog is past you, showing that opposing motion like you just did. Really, really awesome. And the dog should always continue on to that target. Just like she's doing right there. So really, really lovely. Running away. She's keeping her commitment. She's being amazing. So the other thing I love that you're doing on this is you're doing minimal repetitions, especially in a private lesson. I try to do maybe twice on each side and that's it. So love this. Love the offering, or kind of sending, kind of offering, because you are showing some amount of motion, and she's keeping her commitment with that motion. One of the rules I always tell new students is I have basically like a 10-foot rule, and that's, I think, from OMD. I don't think I made that up. When the dog is within 10 feet of an obstacle, the handler's facing the obstacle. The dog should take the obstacle no matter what. So some people get a little concerned. They're like, I don't want my dog just taking stuff, or am I really asking? You're asking by facing. And so you're doing a really, really, really good job with that exercise showing that. And really lovely. This is what I said in my comment when I wrote on your messenger, that, and I'm guessing this is from the online that you're doing, is that they're combining exercises. So combining like an offering the jump with the following the handler. Either that or you made that up, and that's fantastic because I haven't seen that before, honestly, as far as being specifically taught that way. So you have freedom, you have leeway, you're smart enough to know what, you know, certain people need and certain teams need. So that's why my kind of guidelines that I've sent, I don't ever stick to those like glue, because everyone's different. Every team is going to need different things. Okay. I love, love, love this. With this exercise, so you're doing it perfectly, obviously. With this exercise, kind of how I start in the training of it is explaining. I always have kind of a halfway rule for my dogs if I'm asking them to do something different. So when the dog is halfway, can't really see that, halfway between the two wings in this case, that's when you're starting to show that change. So when she's halfway right there, you should already be thinking about turning in the opposite direction. Okay, if she's passing that wing, and for some dogs now you're turning, that might be too late. Some dogs will just come up on this side. Okay, so that's why I try to use that halfway so that gives the dog time to respond. So right here, she's halfway, right there. You're starting to turn to your right, which is perfect. When she's halfway right there, you should be turning to your left. So you're a little late in that second turn. And this is why, and she's doing it, I just want to point it out so that you know, okay? What I do with this exercise in teaching is just like you're doing, I stick to the 3 wings first. Not all teams can handle lead changes across 4 wings. It becomes overwhelming. The dog will at some point, what they start doing here is they'll just ignore the handler and just frantically try to catch up. So when I see that happening, you know, we kind of have to end the exercise at that point. Okay. So this I really, really love. I do this exercise a lot as well, and I think it's super important to be able to do. I love that you're not moving. I haven't seen this done on the 4 wings. When we were taught how to do it, we did it with rear crosses, and I kind of dropped that from the curriculum because it was really hard to teach people how to do that. It was hard enough to teach them how to do the normal exercise, but people who have never done agility before, this kind of stuff can be like overwhelming. So I haven't seen this done with the blind crosses, and I think it's an awesome idea. And I think the other thing is, it really, so here, I think you're doing a really, really good job. So you're looking, she's halfway, you're switching. She's halfway, you're switching back and coming up, okay? So again, keeping that when she's halfway to the next wing, you're already changing your handling. So it's basically as soon as they take off, you do that head change. She's halfway, you do the next head change, and by that time, everything's done. What I love that you're doing, again, is you're standing still. It's so hard to tell people to stand still. I can't even tell you how hard that is. Really, really awesome. And I love that you're increasing your distance away from her. Beautiful. And this is an exercise, whenever I do it, I always tell people it's my favorite one with the 4 wings because they can't believe their dog's going to do it. And it's kind of mind-blowing to see these young dogs handle this kind of stuff. Really, really nice on the tandem turn. You're doing a great job with your feet. And then great job keeping your hand nice and low. You're watching her, just teaching all the students to do all those wonderful things as well. Really, really nice. I love this exercise. Kelly Carter and I did this exercise with Hart and Dexter when they were puppies. So I absolutely love it. Just like with all the OMD stuff, slowly start increasing your distance. I slowly start backing up. I start moving in different directions, you know, away from that jump. What you're doing that I really, really like is you're rewarding her nice and low. You're not rewarding her with her head up, so I like that. She's being rewarded. You're kind of reaching down to nose level, which is hard to do for some dogs based on size. This I love. What you're doing here that's particularly wonderful, you're taking 1 step to send. As soon as she's passing you, you're taking off and you're leaving. Okay, all of that is perfect. Teach everyone to do that. It's so hard to get people to do 1 step and leave. And watching her as you're leaving, super, super important. Again, just like everything else, increasing distance from the jump. So love that you're incorporating ascending forward on that as well. 1 step, beautiful. Turning, getting ready, 1 step, perfect. So here, this was your only mistake I think I saw on the whole thing, is your foot. So you've got the arm forward, but the right foot is back, and that right foot should be forward. I think that's the only handling mistake I saw you make on this whole, however many videos these are. So just making sure, feet are way more important to dogs than hands. But you know that. We all make mistakes, no big deal. So love this. I love doing the flick training. So important. And footwork is not important on the flick. There's been so much discussion on the footwork on the flick, and it's really not that hard. And this is nice as well, incorporating 2 exercises, going around a wing, following the handler. Really, really nice to be able to see that. And what I love that you're doing on the following the handler, which I'm glad they made it super clear on the videos, because when they were teaching us initially, they didn't make it clear that you are sending to that target. We kind of always assume the dog just goes. So what you're doing is really, really nice, that you're intentionally sending her to her toy. I love that you're throwing the toy forward on the lap turn. I think that's super important, because as soon as the dog makes the turn, the dog should always think they're propelling themselves straight forward. It makes the handling of those situations using the lap turn so much easier if the dog already knows to have the forward momentum. Love that you're adding in the different angles. So that's really, really nice. And then incorporating very, very similar tandem turn there, same kind of idea, where she is moving forward out of that turn, which is great. And again, all the different angles, different sides, different everything from the beginning. Super, super important for the young dogs to know that there are so many options, and all the options are kind of normal and easy. And I really like this. I haven't seen the rear cross training like this. So that's really nice. I like, and I think I made the comment on something, that I like that there's so much to do with just a wing. And this is also really good. So same type of thing here. Really, really good fitness for the dog. Obviously good turning, good everything. Very nice. And then also, obviously, if people want to use rights and lefts on stuff like that, you know, and the forced front cross training, what I like that you're doing is you're moving when she's still 10 plus feet back. And I think that's so important for people to understand, that you have to move that early. And again, love that you're propelling her forward. It's so hard to get people not to reward out of their hands, which is okay sometimes, but not okay every single time. It's better that we want the dog to go away, to go on to the next obstacle, not always thinking about us. So a little delay in my internet here when I was looking at these. This is one of my favorite exercises too. I love it. Biggest thing when you're training people to do this, that you're doing a good job, is one step. It's so hard. I can't even tell you why it's so hard. So one step there, as soon as you're getting ready, as soon as she comes around, one step in that direction, and that's it. People want to take like 15 million steps here. So you're doing such a nice job of that, so which means I know you can actually train people to do that. Really, really nice. And again, moving as she's passing you. As soon as she's passing you, you're taking that step back away from her, showing that opposing motion. She's keeping her commitment. What I would do, and this is for you personally, I'd be moving these wings much farther apart. She's doing such an amazing, and maybe you already have. So I'd be moving them 20 plus feet apart at least, which those might be 20, maybe 15, but definitely increase that distance for you guys. So loving the different angles here. All of that looks excellent. And love the hand nice and low. You're moving it. She can see it. Really, really good. And this is a fun exercise. I think we all do this one when we're warming up our dogs. This is one that's fun to do. I like to experiment with this one and not use hands at all, just use feet. I think it helps us as the handlers focus on what's really important, which is our feet. So I love that you're slowly increasing your distance away from the jump for her, because I think that's super important to be able to do. And I like that you're being patient. You're waiting to see her commitment. Because a couple of times, like right there, she has to think and make that choice, and I like that you're supporting her just by being patient, staying in connection to her, staying in position. And this looks really nice as well. So lots of nice forward, go, go, go. I think it's something a lot of people don't understand about the OMD, is that they train so much sending forward distance, and people think that, I don't know why, but they don't think we do that, and we do. So it's good to see that. And then introducing that verbal, like I know you're doing. I did watch this the first time with sound. And one thing I want to point out that I really enjoy from you is that you are praising her appropriately. So you're praising her as soon as you see her do something. You're not waiting till it's actually done, if that makes sense. So you're praising basically her commitment to doing something, not when she's finished it. And I think that's super important to be able to do. So really fun exercise here on basically intro to German turn. And then you could at the same time pick her up on the left side, and that would be running on the dog's line, kind of basics. So that might be in a later lesson, I'm not sure. But what I love that you're doing is just waiting there. Your foot is facing, your chest is facing, you're letting her know that's the jump. You're not helping her any more than that. And then turning as you should be, rewarding forward, super important. And this is really, really fun. I love doing the either or pretty much any time. So letting her know sometimes I need you over here. Obviously, great snooker skill is the first thing I think of with stuff like this. Sometimes I need you to take the jump. So again, super important as an instructor, reminding people you need to be watching your dog. And this is, again, I have so many favorite exercises that OMD does. And the keeping the commitment in so many different forms is definitely on there. Showing that motion like you're doing as soon as she's past you, you're leaving, you're praising her each time. Really, really, really great training job that you're doing. And this one's super fun as well. So love doing the tandems and the laps into the tunnels. Showing her, basically what you are showing her is that blind entrance in a different view. And then I know, like I said, I did listen to this with sound on, so I know you're encouraging that straight tunnel exit, which I think is so important to get dogs to exit straight. Young dogs tend to always want to turn towards their handlers. So it's really nice to get them focused forward. Everything on both sides as normal. Very good. And love this. So you know we've got channel weaves and weave-o-matics there. I personally love both. I train most all my dogs on channel weaves. I did train Clever on the weave-o-matics initially. And so what I do as an instructor for that is I kind of let the dog decide initially. Some dogs don't like the channels. They don't like the poles like right next to them, so the weave-o-matics are easy. And most dogs I always try and transition back to the channels at some point. Main reason is I think it's easier for everyone, and I can use the guide wire so much easier. And then we have 12 of the channels. I only have 6 of the weave-o-matics at the fields. So obviously I know you know your weave training. Okay, I think this is the last video, I'm not sure. So really, really nice. Again, introducing different techniques on different obstacles, super important obviously. And then I love that you're setting her up right by the other tunnel entrance. And that last time she did look at it. And then I love this go because she came out, she was looking to you, you just kept encouraging her, and that was really, really perfect. Just to remind her, sweetheart, I said go, I need you going straight, rewarding that behavior, really good. So what you're doing that I like on that lap turn, you're really, really shaking that hand. You're taking that big step back with the left foot in this one. Really good. And this is really nice. Teaching that nice go on, changing your position. Very, very good. And so just basically letting her know that target's up there, I've asked you to go on, you need to keep going. She's doing a great job. Really, really good work. And then basically reversing it, having her go through that tunnel again, straight exit line, very important for them. She is having such a good time. I love that she almost went back through the tunnel. And this is really nice as well. So again, really great place to remind handlers, watch your dog. She's going to go where her head is going. Because if she's looking at that other tunnel entrance like she does a few times, you're not releasing her to go forward. And so when you're teaching, feel free obviously to train everybody to teach their dog to stay. We all know that that's not always a possibility. Whenever I'm doing that, then I'm usually, if you watch the videos that I put on the little handouts, I'm usually always holding the dog. I still always release the dog when the handler says so, because they need to learn mistakes. So if they say okay and I release and the dog's looking at the wrong tunnel, oh well. Handlers need to kind of learn how to watch their dogs better, that kind of thing, make those choices. So this is the one in particular. So this I absolutely love. She is so sure it's right there and you're doing everything possible. And right there, she makes a different choice. Now it's time to go. And I think that's perfect. I love seeing the dogs make choices. There again, she's looking. You got her attention. And then as I was watching this the first time, I was thinking, I hope she's going to do lap turns and tandem turns into that curved tunnel, and you do. Because it's perfect opportunity to teach that as well. And love the hand shaking. I think that becomes super important to keep the dog's attention. So right there, lovely tandem into the tunnel. So love this again. She starts to, right there, she's looking at the wrong tunnel, and then you change her focus onto you. Excuse me. Love the blind tunnel entrance work. Dogs pick this up so easy. I always make a point of telling handlers, dogs find tunnel entrances they can't see by looking at tunnel bags. Doesn't matter what color, what size, what shape, dogs know. And so it's really cool. Once the dog has a pretty good understanding of what a tunnel is, finding a blind tunnel is actually pretty easy for them. And I love that you're rewarding her on the back of the tunnel. Sorry, there's somebody driving by with annoying music. So love how you're rewarding her for that, is the bottom line, that you're rewarding her. You're moving the whole time she's in that tunnel, and I know you're verbally talking to her, calling her, praising her. She's doing a great job. And increasing that angle. So instead of starting out coming from there, now you're coming from here. Perfect progression. So this is the exercise I really love. I love trying to do this with people. Some people get it super easy and some people have such a hard time. But I think it's such a great exercise to teach lead leg changes. As the helper, if you need it, I'm always standing on the back of this and then rewarding behind those wings. Some dogs don't have the commitment to go around a wing very easily. So that extra help sometimes is needed. Obviously, Shout does not need that extra help. And so this technique is actually called a back lap. I don't know if you know that. I think you do. And I kind of explain that as well, that in a normal back lap, so you would be sending her, let's see, backside right there, doing the lap turn, her exit line would be about 45 degrees away from the wing, which means you wouldn't need to come as far back as you're coming. You could do the lap turn, from right there. You don't have to take any steps back. And then your exit line would go straight. So she would come around and then do something like that. So I don't know if that makes sense with my drawing there. But this is a great warm-up. Again, lead changing, exercising the dog, letting them know they can turn either direction super easy. Okay? Super love what you're doing, obviously. You're doing a really, really good job. Couple of things. If you ever need any help with troubleshooting, you're doing the exercise, it's not working, just let me know. I'm happy to help, obviously. I know there are a couple other things I was trying to think of as I was watching. If I think of them, I'll shoot you a message and kind of let you know. But otherwise, you're doing a great job. If you have more videos as you're going through any more foundation training you want to run and pass me, I'm happy to take a look at them. All right, good job.